think if Canelo was using the jab effectively, hard, the guy wouldn't have been able to come in because the guy was coming in because he wasn't worried about Canelo's jab. So he got more aggressive and he got brave. If he's not jabbing, he has no defense.
I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. You don't know how your body's going to react.
He's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for I'm picking Crawford to win now.
Mike Tyson has expressed serious concern about Canelo Alvarez's future, warning that a potential loss to Terence Crawford could prove damaging to his legacy. Tyson points out that in several recent fights, Canelo has failed to use his jab effectively, a mistake that often allowed opponents to build confidence and close the distance. According to Tyson, if Canelo wants to avoid giving Crawford that same advantage, he must adjust his jab strategy, using it with precision and consistency to control the pace of the fight and prevent Crawford from seizing early momentum.
Not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him, like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Well, he was really basic,
Veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas takes a broader perspective, acknowledging that Canelo Alvarez boasts one of the most impressive resumes in modern boxing, having faced top-tier opponents across multiple divisions. By contrast, Terence Crawford's resume is sometimes criticized for lacking marquee names despite his dominance. Still, Atlas argues that greatness is not defined only by the names on a resume, but also by the ability to adapt and perform at the highest level. In his view, Crawford's mastery of timing, angles, and ring control, combined with his calm demeanor and mid-fight adjustments, could allow him to neutralize Canelo's physical advantages.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? You know, but those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
The stakes for Canelo Alvarez in this matchup extend far beyond a simple win or loss. Crawford is moving up 2 full weight classes for this fight, which creates a unique challenge, but also places extra pressure on Canelo. If Canelo were to lose to a naturally smaller opponent despite his size, strength, and experience advantages, critics would be quick to question his standing in the sport. Such an outcome could tarnish his reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters of his era. That's why this fight carries enormous risk for Canelo, even before the first bell sounds.
No, I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. You don't know how your body's going to react, and you just think, you know, you just going to come up and beat me. We seen it with Charlo, his videos, how he was looking, you know, moving around the ring, and everybody thought, you know, that might work, and we saw what happened come fight night. Crawford is a skillful guy, but like, who has he really beaten? Spence. After Spence, you know, now all of a sudden he can jump up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo. I don't see it. If I'm Canelo, I would have to make a statement with Crawford. Canelo cannot lose this fight. He shouldn't lose this fight.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez has praised Terence Crawford as a fighter who operates on an entirely different level compared to most of today's elite. He admires Crawford's ability to switch stances seamlessly, stay composed under pressure, and dictate the tempo of a fight regardless of his opponent's style. To Benavidez, Crawford's true edge is not only his athletic ability, but also his superior fight IQ, which allows him to gradually break down even the most seasoned champions. In his view, this mental sharpness makes Crawford one of the hardest puzzles to solve in modern boxing.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he wins. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make 160.
Jeff Mayweather also highlights Crawford's technical brilliance, emphasizing his ability to read opponents and adjust his game plan with surgical precision. While he gives Crawford the edge in terms of pure boxing craft, Jeff is quick to caution against overlooking Canelo's experience and power. Over the years, Canelo has repeatedly shown that he can turn the tide of a fight with a single well-placed punch. According to Jeff, underestimating Canelo's ability to adapt in the heat of battle would be a dangerous mistake for Crawford, or for anyone who faces the Mexican superstar.
It's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win.
Max Kellerman adds another layer to the technical discussion, zeroing in on the jab as a decisive factor in this clash. He notes that Crawford's jab is one of the most accurate and efficient in modern boxing, allowing him to control range, set up sharp combinations, and disrupt an opponent's rhythm. This weapon has been central to Crawford's success at every level. Kellerman contrasts this with Canelo's jab, which earlier in his career was a powerful tool against aggressive opponents, but has become less consistent in recent years. If that trend continues, Kellerman warns, Canelo could find himself vulnerable against Crawford's disciplined and relentless lead hand.
List of attributes, and then tell me who do you feel is best in that attribute. First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring.
Gary Anchuan Russell highlights the cultural and stylistic contrasts that make this matchup so fascinating. He notes that Canelo Alvarez represents the traditional Mexican style, blending calculated pressure, devastating body shots, and sharp counterpunching. On the other hand, Terence Crawford embodies the rhythm, fluidity, and defensive awareness often associated with African-American boxing traditions. According to Russell, this clash of styles will create an intriguing dynamic, as both fighters will look to impose their rhythm while neutralizing the other's strengths.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. I'm talking about like not 12 round shape. I'm talking about like 16 round shape.
And trainer Robert Garcia has also voiced strong support for Terence Crawford. Garcia praises Crawford's discipline, work ethic, and mastery of boxing fundamentals, calling him a fighter who represents the technical side of the sport at its best. While he respects Canelo Alvarez and his accomplishments, Garcia openly admits he is rooting for Crawford to succeed. For Garcia, a Crawford victory would not only validate his dedication, but also highlight the importance of skill and ring intelligence in modern boxing.
I love Crawford. He knows that. I've seen him. I've talked to him many times, and I wish him the best. I'm actually very happy for him and Bomac for everything they've done and the big fight that they're getting. You know, in this sport, making it to those fights and making it to those paydays, you got to be happy for anybody that makes it there. So Bomac knows, Crawford knows. Now I'm actually, after Canelo's performance, I'm actually leaning towards Crawford to win this fight.
Why is that? What changed?
Because I know Crawford, he's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's gonna go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for Crawford will get. I'm picking Crawford to win now.
Omari Jones adds to the conversation by emphasizing Crawford's professional approach to preparing for the move up in weight. Instead of bulking up recklessly and risking a loss of speed and stamina, Crawford has carefully built muscle through a focused program of nutrition and conditioning. This method allows him to maintain the agility that defines his style while adding the durability needed to face a naturally larger opponent like Canelo. Jones believes this strategic preparation gives Crawford the best chance of success while minimizing the usual disadvantages of moving up 2 weight classes.
And like me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or you know, his skill set. And it, you know, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, you know, it's a win-win.
So you don't think Crawford, you know, gaining that weight, because I saw him, he's pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. You know, the nutrition, the you know, like I said, the training. You know, Crawford, he trains hard, so I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
And I know, like we discussed earlier, you know, we talked with your pro debut, and now you're 3-0. Your last fight, July 19th against Blanco, and it was actually your 3rd win by knockout.
Yes.
Super proud of you. How are you feeling about your pro career so far?
I'm feeling great about my pro career. I definitely feel like it's off to a great start.
Paulie Malignaggi echoes that sentiment, praising Crawford's ability to find the right balance in his physical preparation. He points out that Crawford has gained enough muscle mass to withstand Canelo's power, yet he has not sacrificed the quickness and reflexes that make him so dangerous. Malignaggi credits this to Crawford's disciplined training camp, which has carefully addressed every detail from diet to sparring. In his view, this balance could prove to be the deciding factor in whether Crawford can impose his style against the Mexican champion.